Now, when it comes to Need for Speed Most Wanted, Need for Speed Carbon, and Pro Street and Need for Speed 2015, there's a linear storyline, but if you really look at it, Need for Speed 2015 is the last we see of the player who drove the BMW M3 GTR, but nobody followed the story with the BMW M3 GTR. Nobody knows what happened after Carbon. Till now, I think I've been able to figure out what happened to it. Now, if you really think about the BMW M3 GTR, it's known everywhere from Bayview to Rockport to Palmont, basically every single city of the Need for Speed universe. Now, common sense will tell you, okay, cool, it didn't get sent to a junkyard. We know that because it pops up in Need for Speed Heat. Then came the second theory. So here's what happens in my own little version. Now, after you crash the BMW M3 GTR running from Cross, Darius sets you up with Nikki. Now, after you guys leave, Darius takes the car into his own possession and sells it off. He probably rebuilds it, but more than likely, he just sells it off as is. It's now his. He feels like you owe him. And you can't drive this car. This car has probably been kept a secrecy by literally everybody that's collected it, because think about it. Police find out you have the most wanted car in all of Bayview, Palmont, Rockport, just every city in Need for Speed, like from the east to the west coast of the Need for Speed world. Police are going to know who this is, so it'll be way too risky to drive it anywhere. Until one of these people who own the BMW M3 GTR gets it confiscated by this deal weed, who was basically collecting cars and selling them overseas to the highest bidder. And the main characters, the protagonists of this game, stop him. And they pretty much beat the car all to hell before, I think he ends up dying. I'm not really sure. It doesn't say. But yeah, the protagonist of Need for Speed, he ended up getting the car. And I think they sold it off to somebody else. Here's where things get a little nostalgic for me. Now, in Need for Speed Unbound, there's a mission where you have to go get the BMW M3 GTR for someone who goes by the name of the Blacklist. Now, he's a guy that just got released from jail, and he desperately wants this thing. Now, there's some dialogue after you deliver the car, and it's basically them saying, I feel like we're living on a razor's edge with some of these collections. That was a little too dangerous even for us. Now, they don't realize that if Cross was on their ass chasing that BMW M3 GTR, oh, it would have been over with. Now, this is what I think is going on now. I think Need for Speed is listening to us and giving us some type of story behind it.